How you doing, guys? What I have right here in front of me is a box that should include a Nintendo Gamecube, and I also have a stack of games right beside me, which we are going to talk about later here. And yeah, this is a first video in this video series where I collect the Nintendo Gamecube because it's a system that I want to actually start rebuilding my collection, because I used to have a Nintendo Gamecube back in the day. Didn't really play barely any of the Nintendo Gamecube exclusive, sold all of my stuff years and years ago, and now I'm gonna go and collect the Gamecube back up. It's something that I've been thinking about a long time, and what is a better time than now in 2025 to start collecting Nintendo Gamecube? Actually, it's a terrible time to be collecting Gamecube because Gamecube stuff is so expensive. But I guess it's not going to get any better, so why don't we start right now? So let's see what we got here in the box, and then we're going to also talk about the games I have right beside me here. Alright, so let's see what we got here in the box. What we should have here is a Gamecube system, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about later. But a Gamecube is kind of like it's kind of like a blind spot for me, because like I said previously, I have had a Gamecube, but many of the Gamecube like big time games I have completely missed. I never played them, because mainly what I have been playing on a Gamecube is like party games. The Mario Party games I used to play, and Mario Kart I have played a little bit, but many of the greatest games on the Gamecube I never played. So I guess I'm gonna start collecting this, and I'm gonna actually start playing this, because I'm really excited to play some of the Gamecube games that I missed throughout the years. And I have right here on this side, I do have some of these games are games that I'm really looking forward to playing, and I'm gonna be doing videos also on the games. Maybe not like full-blown reviews, but maybe impressions or something, I don't know. But let's see what we got here in the box. So what we should have here is a modded Gamecube, because yes, I wanted to go ahead and grab a modded Gamecube. I was gonna do it myself, but then I found this bundle that happened to have a modded Gamecube, and also it comes with, well, there's one thing here which was the reason why I wanted to pick this up, instead of like modding the Gamecube myself. So got a disc here which says Swiss 123 ball. So I guess the Gamecube that I have here requires this to be inside the game slot. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I'm really unfamiliar with the Gamecube modding scene. I do know about Swiss and all this Pico Brute and all of this stuff, but I haven't really used them myself. So we'll see. All right. So next little box, I'm gonna put this aside. I'm gonna show it just in a moment. What else do we have? We got the some of the cables. So these are the AV cables for the Gamecube, which I'm not gonna be using really. Controller right here. I'm gonna throw that right there. Let's see the condition of this one. Actually seems to be like a decent condition, but the wire is taped up. So yeah, the wire is taped up, so that doesn't really look too good right there. But otherwise you can see the controller seems to be a pretty good condition right here. No issues with that, but the wire is definitely not the greatest condition. What else do we have here? We got the power brick for the Gamecube. Gonna need that to play the Gamecube. And here's in the close-up camera, just your standard power brick right there. We got this one for the cables, which I'm not gonna be using this, but it comes with one of these. You can plug it into a SCART outlet. Actually has, it has aged a little bit. You can see there's some yellowing on the front, but the slots seem to be working just fine. And so there's one there's one thing about this particular Gamecube that is a little bit different than your standard Gamecube, because if we open this, hold on a second.
Hello guys, it's me from the future here, and I just quickly wanted to come here and say that originally the seller told me that this Gamecube can play DVDs, and I just automatically assumed that he meant like full-size DVDs, and maybe the Gamecube is modified to fit a DVD inside. And I even tried that in this video, which is funny, but since this video I have learned pretty much everything that comes to this system. I know what mod chip it has. It has the Xenomod mod chip inside the system, so it can play any region disc, and it can also boot to the homebrew using a mini DVD, and that's what the seller meant. He meant it can play burnt DVDs, mini DVDs. So yeah, pretty much everything I wonder in this video about the accessories and stuff like that, I know now how they work. I know how the video cables work, so everything is good on that. It took me a couple days to learn because I've been out of the GameCube scene for about 15 years, so it took me a couple days to learn, but now I know pretty much everything I talk about and wonder here in this video. Let's continue the video.
This game with a GC video thing, I don't know what this is called, but this allows me to use a HDMI to the and plug it into a GameCube's digital AV out, so I can get a HDMI connection with the GameCube. And yeah, this was something that this was a big reason why I wanted to buy this particular bundle here, because these things I believe cost something like 80 euros or somewhere around that. So getting this inside the bundle with the GameCube and all the needed cables was something that I was interested in getting. Comes with the cable, mini HDMI to HDMI, so we're gonna see how that shakes out. Comes with a 4 megabyte third-party memory card, but I also have official memory card. I've had this for like, I don't know, 20 years or something. Maybe not that long, but a very long time, so I guess I will be using this. I don't know how reliable these cards are, but I got one of those as well here in the bundle. This is a modded system, and one thing the sellers told me is that this can read DVDs, but so is this like modified? Let's see actually, right here in real time, I'm gonna put inside a Blu-ray disc because these are the same size as a DVD. All right, I'm gonna have to say that I don't know what the seller was talking about, because he did mention DVD playback, but obviously that doesn't seem to be the case. If you take a look at it inside here, you can see it's a little bit of dirt, it's a little bit dirty here inside. But other than that, it seems to be, yeah, it's just your standard purple GameCube. Not the best condition, but if it works, I'm happy. And I already have a different GameCube bundle on the way to me, so this series is going to continue fairly soon, where I'm going to get more games for the GameCube, and that bundle is going to include some big-time bangers. So really excited about that. But this is going to get me started, and the games that I'm going to show you in a moment. All right, so here, if you take a look at the back side of the GameCube, there you go. There's the mod. You can see there's 128 gigabyte card right there. So I'm not sure how this mod is going to work. We're gonna at the end of this video, I'm gonna connect this to a TV and show you how the GameCube works and what kind of a mod this has, because I'm not like completely sure what this GameCube has going on. But how about we take a look at the games? And also, before we take a look at the games, it came with disc that looks like this. So I guess this is supposed to work in a way where I put this inside the GameCube, and then it's going to put into the Switch. So I don't know if that's how it always is, or I don't know. We'll see. But let's talk about the games that I have here with the system. First, we got True Crime, Streets of LA, and this is a game that you may not associate with Nintendo. At least I don't. But this did release on a GameCube, and True Crime is a series that I have never played myself. I bought a couple games that I really wanted for the GameCube, and I decided to pick up a couple games in addition to that for the same postage. So this was one of them, and I believe this was 8.99 euros, so not a bad price. And the case seems to be in decent shape. Comes with the manual and the disc, and this was actually the worst condition out of this disc. So let's see if I can put it in a correct lighting here. Well, you can see there's some scuff marks here. It's not a perfect condition, but it's a decent. It should work just fine. So True Crime Streets of LA for the GameCube. And next up, we got Medal of Honor Frontline. Some of these older Medal of Honor games are actually pretty decent. I have not played Frontline, but I was a big fan of the PlayStation 1 Medal of Honor games back in the day. So I'm actually somewhat interested in playing this at some point. And this was a $6.99, so I think that's a decent price when it comes to GameCube, because GameCube stuff is going through the roof these days. So $6.99 for a game, not too bad. And this should be, I guess, one of the better Medal of Honor games. And once again, it comes with the manual, it comes with the disc, and the disc is, once again, pretty good condition. Does have some marks here, but nothing major. So definitely a good addition to the collection. Medal of Honor Frontline, good condition game, and also a game that I think should be pretty good. Anyways, next. Turok Evolution. Now, this was $8.99, and it's a game it's an interesting game. The whole Turok series is pretty interesting, and this was the 6th generation Turok game. I don't know if there was more than this on the GameCube, but I've seen a video on Digital Foundry where John and Alex play the Turok Evolution on a PC and a original Xbox. And in that video, I remember John mentioning that the GameCube version is actually 60 frames per second, the only console version that is 60 frames per second, if I remember correctly. And that was actually a big reason why, when I saw this game for a pretty cheap price, I wanted to pick it up to see how the GameCube version is. But definitely not a game that people really hold in high regard, but still I wanted to get this. Comes with the manual, comes with the disc, and the disc is excellent condition. So can't go wrong with that. And now we get to a couple games that I really wanted for the GameCube, and those are first Resident Evil 4, the original version of Resident Evil 4, and this is a game that I have actually played. I have played this version back in the day, like a couple hours maybe, not more than that. And now I finally want to go ahead and play the original Resident Evil 4 version on the GameCube, and I've heard some people say that this is still like maybe outside the PC HD version, the best version, like it controls better than the other versions and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to check out the original Resident Evil version on the GameCube, the original platform it's released on. Comes with 2 discs, comes with the manual, and I checked the discs. These are almost perfect condition discs, like really fantastic. And this is a kind of a game that you would expect maybe people played a lot, but still it's great condition, so I'm really happy about that. Resident Evil 4 in my collection. And the next game is a big time Nintendo game. I have never played this game, and that is Metroid Prime. Now actually I have played this once again like a little bit years and years ago. Never really gave this game a real chance, and now I'm finally gonna do that. On the GameCube. People really love this game, say it's one of the best games ever even. I'm going to definitely play this game. I'm going to do a video on this game and see for myself what do I think about the Metroid Prime series. And we also have the Metroid Prime 4 coming out in not too long. So I don't know. Let's see, do I love the Metroid Prime series as much as other people? And this was 25 euros. 25 euros for Metroid Prime Complete, excellent condition, disc and everything when I check this. Oh yeah, I'm actually going to mention quickly the price. This was 20 euros, and this was, I believe, $8.99, if I forgot to mention that earlier. Alright, so there are the games and the GameCube itself. So the purple GameCube with the controller and these games. So I guess I'm just gonna clean up this a little bit, and we're gonna connect the GameCube to a monitor, and we're gonna see does this work, and I'm gonna play some of these games. And like I said, I have a lot of games on the way, GameCube stuff on the way, so I'm gonna be doing this series is gonna be continuing fairly soon, where I show some more pickups and talk a little bit more about GameCube. But Now let's take a little break and see does the GameCube work. All right, so here we are. Now we are hooked up to a TV. The system settings have been lost. Calendar and other settings have been reset. Choose the system settings now. I guess yes. There it is. So I guess the images right now is 480i. Maybe that's why it's... Alright, so I don't know what's up with the system, but I guess if I just boot it up without having the disk in, it's gonna boot up to just a normal GameCube mode. So this is the absolutely normal GameCube mode. This is not modded or anything. But how about... And the controller seems to be working just fine. But alright, let's first see if we actually boot up a game here. Go ahead and boot up a Resident Evil 4. Disc 1. Let's see what happens if we go ahead and open the lid. Alright, so we got the disc in. Can't really see anything happening here on the screen. Alright, there it is. If I go to gameplay, we got Resident Evil Disc 1. So let's just boot that up. There we go. Press start. And I'm actually holding down a B because that enables the 60 Hz mode. But the European PAL consoles actually, you can see the resolution. I didn't know that. So yeah, European GameCubes actually do not support progressive image no matter what you do. Stock, but with the use of a Swiss, I should be able to force the progressive scan, which is great. But here we are. Let's just play continue without saving. I'm gonna see if I actually turn off this light. Is it gonna look a little bit better? All right, so the GameCube itself seems to be working just fine. No issues whatsoever with that. But yeah, this is 480i. 480i image here, but it's 60 Hz, so. Resident Evil 4. Start of the game here, and there we go. Now, as you can see, this is definitely a widescreen mode here, but the seller said that this GC plug thing, whatever it is, it can be controlled using a universal remote. So I have no idea how am I able to control it. I'm gonna try this JBL remote to see what happens. All right, so with this one, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here, but don't really see anything happening on the screen. But here we are, playing Resident Evil 4 on a GameCube. So yeah, the GameCube plays is fine. Now I guess we're gonna try out the Swiss disc to see what can we do in the Swiss menus. And also, I wish I could control the GC block because it seems to be forced in the widescreen mode automatically.
Is everything okay?
Yes, everything is okay. There is the classic GameCube jingle. And there we go. We are booted up to a Swiss mode. And now it's changed to a progressive mode. Now let's see, can we actually... All right, there's actually some games pre-installed here. We got Wind Waker. All right, I don't know, where did I go? Tools, Clean Rip. I believe Clean Rip is a way to rip your games to the memory card. So yeah, this also came with the 128 gigabyte card, so that's actually pretty nice, right? All right, there we go. Let's see, settings. Stereo, English, configure, yeah, 480p. Hold on a second, what did I do? 576p. I'm gonna try that. That's the European standard. I was thinking about downloading the clean rip, but we have this pre-installed, so I'm gonna just boot into this. And with this application, we should be able to back up the discs, back up my games here. So I'm gonna back up the Resident Evil 4 disc 1. And there we go. We're actually backing up the Resident Evil 4 disc 1 here, and yeah, it's gonna take about 25 minutes according to the GameCube. And there you have it, guys. The GameCube seems to be working fine. I still have a lot to learn about the Switch, how it works here. This is a yeah, all the GameCube modding stuff is new to me, so I have no idea what is going on here, but it seems like the console is working just fine. And yeah, I'll see you next time when we have a lot more GameCube stuff coming my way. So definitely a lot of GameCube content coming to my channel. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.